Welcome back to digital class, and this is a discussion for our PSLE last minute revision, and this is set number E. So let's look at our first question from Nanhua paper 1, question 28. So here says that two numbers x and y are in the ratio of 3 to 7. So you actually can draw a ratio table here. X to y, 3 to 7. And what happened is after y is half, basically is divided by 2. Okay, y is divided by 2 and x is increased by 4. Means that I can add here say plus 4. The ratio now became 1 to 1. So what does it mean by 1 to 1? Means that we are actually the same. And now they're asking, what is the original value of x? Means that now they are looking for this when it is 3 unit at first. Okay, they are looking for this. So you see, 3 unit after adding 4, 7 unit after divided by 2, they are actually the same. So now you actually can form something called equation. 3 unit plus 4 is equivalent to 7 unit divided by 2. Or you can write it as 3 unit plus 4 is equal to 7 unit divided by 2. Okay? And with this, we actually can say what? We actually can say this. These two, I move up, divide, move there will become what? Times. And basically, 2 will times 3 and 2 will times 4. So it will equal to 6 unit plus 8 equal to 7 unit. And of course, I will move the 6 unit to that side. So it will become 8 is equal to 7 unit minus 6 unit. And I know 7 unit minus 6 unit is equal to 1 unit. So 1 unit is equal to 8. And of course, what we are looking for is the original value of x. Means I'm looking for this, which is actually starting as 3 unit. So 3 unit is equal to 8 times 3, which is 24. So my answer for this question is 24. We are done for this, and this is actually, we call it as an equal concept after stage. Okay, so for those of you that are not really sure with this question, this is called equal concept after stage. Okay, stage. Okay, so let's move on to our next question. Paper 1, question 26. Jenny took 4 hours to paint a room. Bala took 5 hours to paint an identical room. At this rate, how long will they take if they paint such a room together? So Jenny, 4 hours, Bala, 5 hours. And at this rate, they'll be painting together. So of course, as you know, this is a rate question. You should know this. So let me just write here. This is Jenny. This is Bala. Jenny takes 4 hours to paint one room. Bala takes 5 hours to paint one room. So if it is 1 hour, Jenny will be only able to paint a quarter or 1/4 of the room. Agree? So Bala in 1 hour will be only able to paint 1/5 or 1/5 of the room. So which means that if they are together, in 1 hour, they'll be able to paint 1/4 plus 1/5 of the room. I think this makes sense, right? 1 hour, 1/4, 1 hour, 1/5, and together they'll be adding together. Now, of course, if we want to add fraction, we must make sure the denominator are the same. So 4 and 5 is the LCM is 20. So I times 5, I times 5, times 4, I times 4. And I know 1 hour, they should be able to paint 5/20 plus 4/20, which is 9/20 of the room. And what happened here is they are asking how long. How long? Even if paint such room means the whole room. So I actually can flip over and now become like this. Let me just move it here. 9/20 of the room requires 1 hour to paint. How about 20/20? Means that it's actually full of the room, means that it's full up, okay? Then how many hours do I need to take? So as you know, 1 hours will be divided by 9 times 20. Because I want to divide by this 9, then times with this 20. So it will be equal to 20/9 hours. And of course, we can actually convert this into something we call as mixed number. So it'd be 9 times 2, 18, 2/9 hours. So the answer will be 2 out of 9 hours. And we are done. Okay? Again, this is a very common question, and we actually practiced this question in class before. So don't tell me you don't know. We have practiced this question before. Of course, the same with all the questions that we have practiced or discussed in this series. Okay? So let's move on to our next question. And our next question is from MGS paper 1, question number 6. So here say that in the figure below, ABCD is a trapezium. And when it talks about trapezium, you should know it have one pairs of parallel lines. And that pair of parallel lines, if you have a line cutting through, here plus here will be equal to 180. Okay, let's move on. AF and EC are straight lines. And page 1 wrote 4 statements to describe the figure. Statement A. AED, AED is here, is equal to ABC, equal to here. Do you think that makes sense? Obviously no. So this is wrong. Statement B. EDA, EDA is here, is the same as FDC. FDC means here. The answer is true. Okay, this is true because AF and EC are straight lines. As long as they are straight lines, then will be the same angle. So statement B, yes, is true. Let's put a tick here. Ding. Statement C, ABC, ABC, so it's here, ABC, plus ECB, ECB is 180. The answer is true. As I mentioned, if this is parallel line, if a line cut through like this, here plus here will be 180. Of course, here plus here is also 180. Okay, so let's move on. The last one, statement D. Statement D. DAB here plus ABC is 180. And the answer is, of course, no. Okay? And just for information, C and D is always what the students confuse. Okay? Remember, example, if I have something like this, here plus here, example, here is B, yes, is 180. But here, if it's C, no, A plus C is not 180. It should be here. Look at here. Here, which actually match the parallel lines. Okay, something very important. That's why let's move on. Question, which of the following statements are true? B and C. So the answer is option number 3. Okay, something we have discussed. Quick revision. Let's move on to our next question. MGS paper 1, question 30. So here says that a player has to score an average of 18 points and above over 5 rounds of a game to qualify for the next level. What's the lowest score Matthew can get in the 5th round in order to qualify for the next level? So, first thing we need to know is that there are 5 rounds and have to score 18 points and above, and it's average. So obviously, you know that I need to times 18 times 5 to know what's the total score you need to have in order to qualify. So 18 times 5 which is 90. And now I have 20, 15, 25, 15. And of course, what I need to do is actually to minus everything. So 90 minus 20 minus 15 minus 25 minus 15. Then you'll find out the answer is actually 15. Which means that at least Matthew should have 15 so that he will be qualified for the next round. Done something simple. This is average. Okay, just a quick revision on this. Let's move on to our next question. MGS paper 2 question 14. And this is a question that is something that's kind of important to know. Okay, now let's look at this question. 6 identical rectangular boxes can be stored in a cupboard 1.5 meter high. So you know that the height is like this, here up to here is 1.5 meter high. And since they are using cm here, let me just convert into cm. So 1.5, I need to times 100 equal to 150 cm. Just a quick reminder, a lot of students, you always times 1000 because they used to 1000. But no, 1 km is equal to 1000 meter. 1 meter is equal to 100 cm. Okay, just a quick reminder. And the question continues. It says here that two arrangements are shown below. The arrangement figure A leaves a 30 cm gap at the side, as you can see here. And the arrangement in the figure B leaves 13 cm gap at the side and another gap at the top. Okay, so now A, in the arrangement shown in figure B, what is the width of the gap at the top? So basically it's asking for this part. So now let's try to look at, let me just quickly draw here. Let's look at this part together. Since this is have the same length, but it results in something different because of the arrangement. So it's a good thing to see here. Okay, let me just draw here. A. Okay, let's just imagine this is the bottom part here. Okay. B. Yeah, just imagine this is the bottom part here. So the first part here is like this. 1, 2, 3, and 30 cm gap. Another one is like 1, then 2, then here's 13 cm. So if we're to compare, it's something interesting that, example, I actually can just name here as unit, right? So if I actually try to cut it down here, this is 1 unit. I cut here, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, this is 1 unit. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, this is 1 unit. Then I will expect that here would be 30 minus 13, which is 17 cm. So here is 17 cm, I can expect. Okay, sorry for my drawing. So, which means that we actually can say that here is 1 unit. This part up to this part, which is, okay, let me highlight here. This part up to here is actually this part up to here. It's actually u plus 17, which is actually 2 unit plus 17. Does it make sense? I think so. Okay. And of course, here I know it's u, right? This is what I've been writing here. So of course, if here, this green color part is 2 unit plus 17, then what will be here? The same, right? Because they are the same thing. They are just arranged in a different way. Then here will be also what? 2 unit plus 17. So let me just write here. 2 unit plus 17, 2 unit plus 17. And now I'm looking for this gap. And guess what? What is here? Here's actually unit. Okay, let me just write here. Unit. 4 unit. So in order to know the gap there, is actually 2 unit plus 17 plus 2 unit plus 17 minus 4 unit. And of course, it's 17 plus 17, and that's 34. And we are done. Now, of course, you don't need to write all these things unit if you actually look at it. And you straight away know the answer. But it is kind of obvious, lah, okay? But I'm just writing it to make sure You understand the whole concept. Okay. So I know the gap here is 34 cm. Good. Now, and interestingly, I know that this part, let me just use it. This part is 2 unit plus 14 about 17. This is 2 unit plus 17. And it's equivalent to what? 150 cm. So I actually can find out 1 unit is actually equal to what? But let's look at B first. What's B actually asking? What is the width of the cardboard in meter? What's the width of the cardboard in meter? um, Width of the cardboard basically is actually means here lah. Let me just draw it. Or you can say it's here. And it's actually easy to find if we are able to find 1 unit is equal to 1. Okay? So let me just draw here. B. Since I know 2 unit plus 17 plus 2 unit plus 17 is equal to 150, so let me just write here. 2 unit plus 17 plus 2 unit plus 17 is equal to 150. So I know 4 unit plus 34 is 150. So I can find out 4 unit is 150 minus 34, which is 116. And 1 unit is equal to 29. Now, once I found 1 unit is 29, then will be very easy, right? So the width is actually what? 1 unit plus 2 unit plus 17 plus 30. And of course, you can use here, like, it will be much easier, right? Or you can just say 3 times u plus 30. Oh, let me use that. I think that is much easier. Okay. Anyway, here also the same. So 3 unit plus 30. So it'll be 3 times 29 plus 30. And if you press on the calculator, 3 times 29 plus 30, you should be able to get 117 in cm. But of course, you must read the questions carefully. They are asking for meters. So 117 divided by 100, and that's be 1.17 meter. And you're done for our B. Okay? We are done for this question. So this is actually kind of a simple question, but you must be able to look at it carefully. Okay? Let's move on to our next question. Nanhua paper 2 question 16. So here, an empty rectangular tank measuring 35 cm by 20 cm by 50 cm is being filled with water from tap A at the rate of 700 ml per minute. So let me just write this down first. Tap A is flowing in 700 ml per minute. And the question continues says that tap B drains out water from tank at 0.5 liter per minute. So here is draining out water 0.5 liter per minute. Of course, it looks very weird to have liter and ml. Let me just try to convert it into 500 ml per minute. Okay, you know, right? 1 liter is equal to 1000 ml. So tap A is turned on. You just write here, tap A is turned on for 6 minutes before tap B. Now A, how much water was there in tank after 6 minutes? Since tap B is not turning on, means that there's no water being drained out during that 6 minutes. So I just use what? A, 7,000, not 700 times 6. And the answer is what? 4200 ml. That's all. Done already. Again, 1 minute, the water is entering 1 minute 700 ml. So it'll be 6 minutes, then 6 times 700. That will be the answer. Okay. Now means that at the first 6 minutes, we just draw a line. So for the first 6 minutes, the tank already have 4,200 ml of water. Okay, let's move on and look at B. How long will it take for 60% of the tank to be filled? So you know that how long basically means that how many minutes in this case will it take for 60% of the tank to be filled. Now, first thing we need to understand is what is 60% of the tank? So we need to try to find the volume first, right? What's the expectation? So 60% of the tank will be 60 over 100 times, let's find the volume of the tank, base height, base and width. So you just press on calculator, tuk, 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 you should get 21,000 cm cube. Okay, and that is actually the expectation, 60%. We need to find out how long does it take to fill in that 21,000 cm cube. Just for information, ml and cm cube, they are actually the same, which means that 1 cm cube is equal to 1 ml. So yeah, they are the same. Just expect that it's the same. Now, you see, I'm expecting 21,000 ml, or I should say ml also, to be filled. But now, after 6 minutes, I have 4,200 or 4,200. So I want to find, hey, how long does it take in the rest of time to be filled? Okay, so the first thing I should do is actually to first find out, because the first 6 minutes, I have 700 ml water coming in. But after that, no. You see, I have 700 ml coming in. I have 500 ml going out. So I actually can find the rate difference. What's the rate difference? 700 minus 500 is equal to 200. Which means that in 1 minute, I only have, after the 6 minutes, 1 minute, I only have 200 ml water coming in. Okay? And now from here, I actually can try to find out here. Okay, let me just write here. 4,200 plus 200 T equal to 21,000. Okay, this is the equation that we're able to form. You might be thinking, like, what is the equation? So basically, that actually means 4200 is the first 6 minutes. And after that, I'll be increasing 200 ml every single minute. But I'm not sure how many minutes is that. So I'm just putting T. T will be the time. Okay, T is actually stand for time. Then it will be 21,000. So what I'll do is I'll use 200 T, use 21,000 minus 4,200. 200 T will be equal to 21,000 minus 4,200. So 1,600. Or you can just understand that this is my target. This is my target. I have already of this kind of water inside. Then how many water do I need it? Then you know is 16800 ml. But I know 1 minute I can only enter 200. So how many minutes? So I just divide. 16800 divided by 200. You will find that it's equal to 84 minutes. Means that I need 84 minutes in order for the water to be flow in after that 6 minutes. And of course, the question now is asking for what? How long will it take to be filled 60%? So look at here. I have 84 minutes needed here. I have 6 minutes needed here. So my last step, 84 minutes plus 6, which is 90 minutes. That's why my answer is 90 minutes for this question. Okay, we are done with this question. It takes some time, yeah, but it's a simple question. let's move on to next and perhaps the last question for this video, which is from Nanyang Paper 2, question 17. Let's look at this question. So here says that the figure below is made out of a rectangle ABCD, as you can see, and a semicircle. AEC is a straight line, and the arc of the semicircle touches AB at point F. Okay, as you can see here, DC is equal to 16 cm, AF is equal to FB. Now, first step, or the first A question. Find the area of the semicircle. So looking for the area of the semicircle. So A, let me just write here. A. Area of the semicircle. So if you want to know for area, when it comes to circle, it's always pi r squared. And since this is a semicircle, so I need to put half in front. Okay? So half times pi. What is my pi? If you look carefully, the pi is given as 3.14. So it's 3.14. And r squared, radius. What is my radius here? 16 is not my radius. 16 is actually the diameter. So I know I need to use 16 divided by 2, then I square. So I know it's 1 half 3.14 times 8 square. And if you put your calculator, press, you should be able to get the answer is 100.48 in cm square. Okay, simple part A. And part B. Find the difference between area X and area Y. So let me just move up here. Now our next part is to find area X minus area Y. The difference, right? Okay. But how do we, are we able to find what is area X, what is area Y, then we minus? If you look carefully, it might be tough for us actually to find. So how do we do? What we're able to do is actually to look things at a whole, then we minus. So for example, you get here. This X, we're not able to find X exactly, but we can able to find here, right? Let me just color here. We can find this triangle, right? Let me just draw here. We actually can find this triangle. I know this part like this, right? This is X. I can name here as Z or Z. Then I can find this triangle. Then I minus with this part. Let me just use this part. Can you see here? This is what we call it as boomerang. Like this. Yes, I know that Y is only this part. This one will be Z. But if I minus ZX minus ZY, you notice that Z and Z is being removed. And what is left? X minus Y. And this is exactly what we want to find. So now, in conclusion, what I need to try to do is to find a triangle and minus with the boomerang. Okay? So here will be Z and X, it will be Z and Y. So how to find this triangle? Of course, you know here is 16 cm. You know half of this will be 8 cm. Why? Because the radius is 8 and here is also the radius. So to find the area of this will be half times 8 times 16. Okay? And that will be equal to, if you simplify, that will be equal to 64. And now, how to find this boomerang? And of course, to find this boomerang, we need to find the square first. Then we minus the quarter. Okay? So this actually, we need to find the square first, then minus the quadrant. So square, 8 times 8. And how to find the quarter? That would be 1/4 times 3.14 times with my radius, which is 8 square. And And that will be 64 minus 50.24, and you'll find out that it's actually equal to 13.76. And of course, my last step would be 64, which is the z-axis, the triangle, and minus the boomerang, which is 13.76. And the answer will be 50.24 cm squared. And that's all for this part B. Then we are done for this part. So, how was it? I think this question is kind of interesting, but yeah, it's something that we have practiced in class because I feel like this type of question is actually very common. Okay. But I just want to actually take this time to share with you something about this question also. And of course, for part B, we are trying to do using this way. And this is actually the standard way of solving this type of question to find the difference. But actually, there are also some good insight that you actually can find out from this. See, let me just remove all the drawings here. Okay, what is interesting is this part. You see, let me just draw this line. You notice that this part, this triangle, is actually the same as this triangle. It's the same, right? Actually, I can keep this part, I can keep it. I don't touch it. But I take this triangle and try to move it here, and actually try to minus. And if I have this triangle, which is a full triangle, and this part is this, something like this, y. If I this minus this, I will only left with basically this part, which means that if actually the area of x minus the area of y is actually exactly the whole quarter, which is this part. Try to think of it. Again, this triangle is actually this triangle. I actually can move it here, and I want to find a difference, right? So I minus. So this part minus away this y is actually left with this part, which is this part. And is actually equal this quarter. So honestly, if you are good with this, you're actually able to do this only. Means that your whole part B, you only need to do this. You see, I'm drawing this. The quadrant is 1 over 4 times 3.14 times 8 squared. The answer is 50.24. And you can see, right, it's exactly 50.24 here, cm squared. And the answer is also 50.24 cm squared. So, of course, this is just for some students as advanced that you're able to see how things works, then you're able to do this solving. Okay. Anyway, it takes a while to complete this video. So thank you so much for watching this, and I hope that you actually learned something, especially on some of the questions that are slightly tricky, but we are able to solve this together. Okay, so all your best in your preparation for PSLE, and thank you. See you. Bye bye.